Hi and welcome again to Excel's master course. In the previous sessions we have talked about statistical function. In this session we will start talking about logical ones. Are you ready for this session? In the moment that this episode has been created we have 1.5k subscribers. We want to reach 2k before ending of September. We trust you guys to achieve our goal. In this session you gonna learn about logical functions like if, Vlookup, IFNA, IFERROR, and logical gates functions like AND, OR, NOT. Let's begin by the definition of the logical functions. Logical function is function in Excel that has a conditions, and it's used to test whether a situation is true or false. Now let's talk about not logical gate. Let's start with the normal if. It's a function that tests if the condition that you provide is true or false. Then takes the action based on the result that you have input to it. The function if has three sections. First, the logical test or the condition that you want to test. Second is the value if true or what you want to do if the result of the test is true. Third is the value if false or what you want to do if the result of the test is false. Let's try to do it in Excel. Let's imagine that I have data set for sell us in specific hours in Monday and Sunday and I want to know which hours have the best sales in these days. So equal if, open parenthesis. In the logical test B2 greater than A2. If true, print Monday rules. And if not, print Sunday rules. Let's use autofill to print it to other values. Now let's talk about one of the most important functions in Excel. Vlookup. It's a function that used to find the value in the same row with known value, based on the known value and the number of columns between them. Let's try to do it in Excel. Let's ck in this column if Sunday rules or Monday. So equal Vlookup. Open parenthesis. Lookup value is in cell A2. Table array is all of these values. And the value which we want in the third column. We can use the autofill to the other values. But there are few things you have to know about Vlookup. Vlookup looks to your wanted values based from to starting point to the right. Not the opposite. Let's better understand it in Excel. Let's try to get the first value in this table array by knowing the third value. So now equal Vlookup. Open parenthesis. The lookup value is C2. And the table array is all of these data. And I want the value which in first row. It prints NA, or non-available. So pay attention guys to something like this. And that leads us to the next function. But what if I want to replace this NA by an understandable message? Then you will use function called IFNA. IFNA. It's function that used to replace NA or non-available by understandable message. Let's try to do it in Excel. For the previous example I want to replace NA with please review your formula again. So equal IFNA. Open parenthesis. Vlookup. Open parenthesis. And enter the same parameters of the previous example. Then close parenthesis. Type the message in double quotes. Now let's talk about IFERROR function. It is a function can be used to convert the error traditional message by understandable message. Let's try to do it in Excel. Let's do the same fault with Vlookup but with IFERROR. So IFERROR. Open parenthesis. And enter the same Vlookup function. And if there are some errors, prints that there are some errors in your formula. Now let's talk about logical gates functions. Let's start with AND gate. It's a logical gate that prints true when all conditions are true. Let's try to do it in Excel. Let's check if these 2 hours have sales or not by checking if them values are greater than 0 or no. So equal AND. Open parenthesis. The logical condition 1 which is A2 greater than 0. And logical condition 2 which is B2 greater than 0. Now let's talk about OR gate. It is a logical gate has value of 2 or when at least one condition you have input to it is true. Let's try to do it in Excel. Let's check if that any hour in Sunday has sales. And let's check if there are at least 1 hour has sales. So equal OR. Open parenthesis. And let's check if there are at least 1 hour has sales. Now let's talk about not logical gate. It's a logical gate that reverse the value of the logical condition. In means of if the value of the logical condition is true it prints false and if false it will prints true. Let's check if there is no hour in Sunday has 0 sales or below. So equal not open parenthesis. A2 less than or equal 0. Let's use the autofill feature for the other values. In this session you have learned a little bit about logical functions in Excel. Check OU information in the quiz below in the description. Thank you for pay attention. Don't forget to subscribe and apply notification and like the video. See you in the next session.